content with what you have. Is there anything more challenging than that as a young person in a culture like ours? Have you noticed how most people at school or work are just pessimistic nowadays? This class is so stupid. When is school gonna be over? I hate my job. My sister's so annoying. I'm so tired. This food tastes like cheeks. Maybe you do that too. And I'll be honest, sometimes I do. It's easy for me to list out all the things wrong with my life, ruminating on how much I hate things, being discontent with how I'm not where I want to be, frustrated that I can't do what I want to do, and as much as I want to keep complaining, I'm learning that Christ calls me to be better. In 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, Jesus says to Paul, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." So Paul responds, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." Paul's saying that if God gives you less, if he gives you trials, difficulties, hardships, then boast in your less, your trials, your difficulties, your hardships, because you get to see more of him in your less. His grace is sufficient to cover any of our weaknesses or deficiencies. We're not just going to be okay with life's suckiness, we can actually find our deepest joy with Christ. Hebrews 13 verse 5 to 6 says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.' So we say with confidence, 'The Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?' And as God looks at you, knowing your every desire, need, and suffering, with all your sadness and frustration with life not going your way, he says, 'It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes.'" So right now, I'm going to give you 4 practical things that you can do today to learn to be content with what you have and find your joy in Jesus. Number 1, you have to break down your ideals. We often feel discontent with life when we're comparing our life situation with an ideal life setup. Maybe it's something we see in movies or Instagram, but I want you to stop with all of that. Stop asking, where should I be in life as a grade 12 student? Or as a university grad, or as a single 25-year-old. It's okay to think about that, but pray and consider, where does God want me? Maybe my life doesn't match social media or social norms, but if Jesus were me, how would he approach my situation? What would he feel? What would he do? So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop whining and grumbling like a little goblin. The faster you can stop complaining, the faster you can start listening to God and seeing what he sees. Number 2, you have to set standards for yourself. The reason why many young people are flip-flopping around in life is because they don't hold themselves to any standards. And so when hard times come, they just don't know what to do and they give up easily. They give up on their goals, they give up on their mental health, they give up on their faith in God. This is why you need to write down your own standards. And every day, have some self-respect for yourself and do not break them. Here are 3 of mine. Number 1, I never give up. Failures are not detours, they are lessons on my path of becoming. I immediately get back up and keep moving forward. Number 2, when I doubt or fear, I'm just in a position that is outside of my comfort zone. If I take courage and push past these limits, this is where true growth lies. Number 3, I never grumble or complain. My hardest times are the most valuable opportunities to encounter God and be shaped and equipped to become who he wants me to be. The 3rd thing I want you to do is to write down everything that you're grateful for. It's impossible to complain if you're being grateful. So the more you can practice being grateful throughout your day, the better. Plus, we are called to constantly delight in and ponder the works of God. Psalm 110. So you can do this by gratitude journaling and just listing off things you're grateful for, like, I'm grateful for the weather, I'm grateful I could work out today, I'm grateful for my young adults group, I'm grateful to pet a lemur, I'm grateful that my pinky toe is bigger than my big toe. Whatever you want. Our Discord community has a gratitude chat, so feel free to join us. But if you're sitting there and you don't know what to be grateful for, here's 4 journaling prompts so you have no excuse. What happened today that made you smile? What are 5 things you used today that you can't live without? What did you learn from a recent challenge? And who is someone you could say thank you to? Lastly, number 4, be still and know that I am God. When we're discontent about life's suckiness, it's so easy to just spiral, thinking negatively all day, huffing and puffing like a spoiled little brat, grumbling about every little thing that annoys us. So you just need to stop thinking and reset by sitting down with absolutely nothing. No phone, no AirPods. Just listen to what God has to say to you. Just sit and know that even when you are doing nothing, you are still God's beloved. Even if you didn't accomplish your goals, even if everything in life is going south, crumbling down, you are still God's child and He is still Lord over all, including your situation. And while you're at it, if you want to reflect on a verse, do Hebrews 13 verse 5. Keep your life free from the love of money and be content with what you have. For He has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And 2 Corinthians 4 verse 17, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Our fears and worries and discontent is rooted in our forgetfulness and lack of trust in what God has said and done. If He is God, not one of His promises will fail us. His words are everlasting. And so if you put these verses on your wall and you read them every day, you will come to know the secret to contentment is knowing that you have Jesus and He will never leave you nor forsake you. It's the loss of contentment in Christ that leads you to start craving other things to satisfy the longings that can only be satisfied by Jesus. Historically, disciples who decided to follow Jesus also meant that they decided to embrace poverty, abandonment, and persecution. If they could be content and joyful with what they had and didn't have, how can you not learn to be content with what you have? Look, I'm still learning this myself. There's times where I hate my life and all day long I complain like a dying dog breathing in its own doo-doo. But I realize that suffering is inevitable in our sinful world. Sure, you can learn lessons from it, but don't over-personalize it. Just rest in His promises. Hebrews 13:5 and 2 Corinthians 4:17. And so even though things might not be going my way and life might be suboptimal, I can be content knowing that I have the one thing that matters most. And don't forget, we live by God's grace. And we trust Him that everything that lies ahead, whether good and bad, will transform us into the image of Christ. And that is something to be content about. Now that's it for me today. Just remember, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. So please, kill the flesh.
A2000 EST OCOEE. Feeding the dirt, feeling like dirt, fading away from all of the hurt. Finding the church, finding what works. Finally spending my time on the things that I love. Finally trusting again, finally loving again. My heart is open again. Remember back then when I wouldn't let nobody in.